saying namaste, and just also to say that you're allowed to breathe and smile in this session. Yeah, so please relax, and may I invite you to just turn to the partners next to you, say your name, and do a namaste to them. I'm sure you know each other, but just do a namaste. Acknowledging the divine core in all of us, acknowledging our one common source and the fact that deep down we are one. So, hearty welcome. I'm really delighted and very grateful to all of you for showing up here, honoring us with your presence, and I'm also particularly grateful to Banmali for being here. I think with his background in Wärtsilä, a Finnish company, then Tata's as head of Tata Power, and now GE, he will bring unique and multifarious perspectives to today's conversation. Vivek has done a wonderful job of giving us the context, but I'll just add to that, change is needed in every sphere. How many of you agree with that? We need massive change all over, right? India is at a tipping point. I think we are one of the few countries on the planet who are poised to lead the world and show the world about what successful, balanced, spiritually oriented, holistic living can be. We have that potential, and with everyone's efforts and by the grace of the Almighty, we will manifest that. And today, it's really that if such a change is required and if we have the potential, what is the kind of leadership that will make it happen? And that's really what it's about. And then I'll share a bit about relating to and developing people. And Banmali then will carry on further with further examples of relating to and developing people and delivering value and also self-mastery. So you will have a interweaving jugalbandi of sorts covering the three aspects of wholesome leadership. And then you'll have a discussion on your table on a question that is triggered off by what we share. And we leave that question to you. What is the one question after listening to Banmali and me speak? What is the one question that bubbles up in your mind that you would like to discuss with the colleagues on the table? Right? So we'll do that and then summarize it and then break for tea and all that. Okay, so looking forward to a wonderful, joyous, participative evening with you, and thank you once again for showing up, for being here. It's an absolute delight. Okay, so let me start by sharing something on self-mastery and developing people. I think this whole idea of wholesome leadership is easily visualized as a tree. Think of this as a tree. So starting from the roots of how we think and how we see the world, how we perceive things, going up to communication, how we relate to each other, how do we communicate, do we do it with trust, do we do it with mistrust, do we do it with oneness, and finally bubbling up, further up into innovation, value delivery to all stakeholders, and finally to the fruit, which is, as Vivek put it beautifully, value for all stakeholders. The ecosystem feels that they are getting something. Not only monetary, but spiritual, social, intellectual, all kinds of value. So that's really the tree of wholesome leadership. And if I just want to spend a bit of time on the aspect of self-mastery, let me say this. It's all about how do we think, where do we draw our resources, our strength from, and everything is crumbling, everything is changing. All around you see institutions breaking down, values getting eroded, confusion arising. Where as a leader do I draw my source of guidance? Where is my source of guidance? Where is my source of clarity? Where is my source of conviction? When everything looks so dark, is there a place where I can still go in and find light? And the answer is, there is. And that's none other than your own innermost silence, your own inner peace. That's the source. That's where we can get tremendous guidance and clarity. So I think self-mastery is about learning to draw out from that source, that infinite source, draw energy, inspiration, insight from that source and manifest that in the world. So that is one aspect of self-mastery. And Vanmali will tell you more. The other thing I'd like to share with you is everywhere we go today, no matter where we go, we find one common problem. And that is people are working in silos. People are just, I'm just back from a client meeting. They're saying, look, all the functional leaders are excellent in their function. They're brilliant people, but they're all working in silos. They're all stuck with their own lens. And they don't seem to get the larger context. In the morning, there was a meeting with the government, and again the issue there was the HRD ministry doesn't talk to health, health doesn't talk to, we have many people here also from the government and so on. So the different departments don't talk to each other. How many of you have experienced this sort of issue in organizations? Yeah, fantastic. There you are. So it's widespread. And the root of this is our thinking. We get identified, as Vivek said, we get identified with the function, we get identified with the religion, we get identified with the country. You know, we thought that in India we have factions, but you talk to somebody from Belgium and somebody from Holland and see how much difficulty they have getting along. So the factions are in the mind, but just like the floor we're on, there is a space that transcends our boundaries. Just like you have different tables, but we have a common floor, there is a space that can transcend boundaries. So just to sum up, self-mastery is about transcending the boundaries in the mind, finding my infinite potential, as Vivek put it, and also finding sources of inspiration, innovation, integration, insight. So that's the foundation, that's the roots. The second part is about relating to and developing people. We find a very, very simple thing which happens when we work. We find that when people start appreciating and thanking each other, magic suddenly happens. So let me just give you a taste of that magic. I want you to just turn to the person next to you and tell them 3 things in India that you're very, very grateful for. So please turn right now and tell them 3 things in India that you're very, very grateful for that make your eyes shine. Right? Forget about all the negativity. 3 things you're so grateful for. Please do it now. Please do it right now, just to give you a feel of this. So I think just to give you an example, we do a small exercise called the AAG. We call it AAG, and AAG stands for awareness, remembering that we are infinite potential. A is appreciation, looking for what's good about the person, what is excellent about the person, what's excellent about the situation. And G is gratitude, lots of gratitude. Thank you for this, thank you for that, thank you for this air we're breathing and so on. And suddenly you find that your capacity to relate, your capacity to develop, your capacity to unblock positive emotional energy suddenly shoots up. And that's another thing that wholesome leaders do. They unblock positive energy, because the energy of motion is really what emotion is, and that's what it's about. But you can't do that unless the first one, self-mastery, is being taken care of. Second thing is and by the way, there are on your table, you'll find these little pads. I just want to flag these, and these are little opportunities for you to say thank you to people. So please take some of these home and use them generously to expand the sense of appreciation and gratitude. Okay. Okay, and the first person to start with is your spouse. Please do that consciously. Okay, coming back to relating to and developing people, I just want to tell you a story. We went into an organization about a year back, and the brief was, can you help us unleash a passion for excellence? Can you help us to really expand our passion for excellence? We're going through very elaborate process improvements. We are going through all kinds of the top flight know-how on various things, but somehow the fire, the passion for excellence is not there. Can you help us do something? And we went in with a very simple thing, which is appreciative inquiry, really getting to notice what things are, and a process called open space technology, where we simply got people to communicate each other and sit and talk to each other like you'll be doing in a few minutes. And what I want to share with you is that when command and control leadership steps back a little bit and creates a space for conversations to happen, amazingly, they found that hundreds of leaders started popping out where they thought there were no leaders. It's like, you step back, give people space for conversing, trust them, get them to follow their heart, get them to be passionate about, get them to stand up for what they're passionate about, and suddenly you find the whole dynamics and chemistry of the organization begins to change. Now imagine doing that at a national level. Imagine doing that in every mohalla, every street corner, conversations all over the whole nation would change. Right? But again, it would happen only if leaders can learn to let go and learn to trust people with implicit faith that the divine core that's in him is also in him, is in me, and we can draw upon that energy and trust that. Right? So I think just to summarize this part, and later on I'll share more, but essentially starting on a foundation of self-mastery, which is connectedness to a deeper core of infinite intelligence, silence, awareness, and peace, and feeding that into appreciatively, gracefully, compassionately, and with great trust relating to people, you set the foundation for value delivery, for value innovation, and many, many fruits to happen. We are very, very fortunate today that while I've given you somewhat of a conceptual thing, and Vivek has done that, now Banmali will actually give you the nitty-gritty of how all this works, with a lot of beautiful stories. So I'm not going to take more time. I'm quickly going to hand it over to him to share his story and his experience. Yeah? Thank you very much, and I'll share more later on.